Just trying to flow drill right now because we're still so far out from the fight. So we got like almost a full month. We don't want to like get injured, you know. So we're just drilling muscle memory, stuff like that, flowing, because you drill a move, it's good, and we drill a lot, but flowing makes it unpredictable to a certain extent. So you kind of have to, you're kind of forced to flow around, you know, and really build that feel, that touch. Like, oh, I'm going to the left, and he stands up, and you're not going to do the same thing over and over and over again. That's why we have flowing, because you'll never, it's not like drilling, you're limited to that set of moves. So that's why we're drilling right now. Nick has a fight coming up June 29th for GKO, and we're just kind of getting ready everywhere. His striking's good, solid, so we're just working on MMA grappling instead of just jiu-jitsu. He's doing MMA grappling where we're incorporating strikes, so not everything is smooth as pure jiu-jitsu. So that's what we're doing right now.
Last year, after my Bellator fight, I found a lot of holes in the game that we had leading up to that fight. I was injured. I was getting really tired and injured and wasn't recovering. And I kind of figured out why that was. And we're just making little adjustments now. And basically we're just making little adjustments and trying to make calculations to adapting and improving our style and our training atmosphere and everything like that. And having 6 fights in 1 year really takes a toll on you, you know. After that last Bellator fight, I had 2 more fights, one back in Taiwan, one in San Diego. I fought for a title, short notice, went up a weight class, and I felt good. But then earlier this year, after the fight, I got back into training, and it turns out I had a fractured shin from last year, my Bellator fight. So then I've been off a couple months, and now that I'm healed up, I'm just kind of getting back in the swing of things. Hopefully I get a fight in July, and then after July, I was originally going to fight a couple more times in August, but Taiwan, actually, the organization for Taiwan contacted me, and they actually want to get me on 2 shows, so I'm probably going to be doing that. Training's been going good. I matured a lot through last year and realized in terms of training, like what we were doing right and what we were doing wrong and what we weren't doing enough. And sometimes it's phases, you know, phases of training. You do 3 months of a certain type of training, and then you kind of max out on that, and now you need to focus on another thing. So it's good to have that spectrum on what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong. So having this little break really allowed me to recover, because last year I was wanting to fight like 7 or 8 times if I could, but I couldn't. And the reason why is because some fight camps I overtrained and over-prepared. My pro debut, the weight cut was terrible, so I learned a lot from all these fights. There's a learning lesson in either my fighting style or weight cutting, like, you know, little I would say little tips like that, you know, that I managed to learn and mature through this whole last year. So for the rest of the year, I probably have 3 more fights planned. I'm hoping for 4, and that would make it 6 fights again this year. Well, there'd be 6 fights just in 2019. But what they can expect is maturity. I'm comfortable in the cage now. My last 3 fights went, you know, all 3 rounds. It went to the judges' scorecards. My last fight was a title fight. It went 5 rounds. So I feel really comfortable in the cage now. I got a lot of cage time. I'm comfortable in there now. My first 3 fights as my pro debut, I had less than 15 minutes in the whole cage time, probably less than 10 minutes. So it's not a very long time. And as an amateur, I finished 2 out of my 3 opponents within the first 2 rounds, you know, first round and second round knockout. So I've had a lot of ring time or cage time. And now this time coming around, I've managed to really understand the game a little bit. It's not as simple as I thought it was, but it's also not that complex either. And really doing this on my own with just me and Steve and a couple of the teammates around me. We don't have like a huge team. I had to really kind of firsthand experience everything. And the fact that I have that now, it makes me a lot more comfortable, because I wasn't holding anybody's hand through this whole time, you know. I didn't have anybody share experiences with me. I could just learn it on my own, like I always kind of have been. And because of that, I think it made me understand things with a different perspective, and I'm very thankful for that. Hey, I appreciate all the support from everybody. If you guys like the video, like and subscribe. Omni Movement YouTube page. There's a lot more content on the way.